Week 2 of Hearthstone Grandmasters was the first major last hero standing tournament in several years of competitive Hearthstone. With the return of this format, we decided to take a look at the winning lineup from each region to give a little more insight into how to construct an LHS lineup, as well as letting us know which decks the Grandmasters think are strongest after the second Ashes of Outland balance patch. Before we jump into the video, we'd like to remind you to subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on in order to stay up to date with all of our Hearthstone content. Now let's begin. For those new to following competitive Hearthstone, last hero standing might be a foreign concept to you, so here is a quick explanation. Like Conquest, LHS is played in a best-of-5 format where each player brings 4 decks from 4 different classes and then bans one of the opponent's decks before the match begins. This is where the differences begin. In Conquest, you have to win with each of your decks once, so after you win with a deck, you don't play it again that series, whereas in LHS, it is the losing player's deck which is not played again, with the goal being to eliminate each of the opponent's 3 decks by beating them once. Once you win with a deck once, you must queue it again the next game, which gives the losing player the chance to pick their most favorable matchup in the next game. These differences led to a couple differences in lineup construction in Last Hero Standing. The most popular single deck across all regions was, despite the recent nerfs, Tempo Demon Hunter, which was brought by 33 of 48 players. Demon Hunter was also the most popular ban overall, showing the amount of respect the Grandmasters collectively have for its power level. As for the most popular class, that would be Rogue, which was brought by 41 players with a split of 15 Highlander Rogues and 26 Galakrond Tempo Rogues. This was followed by the 39 Warriors in the field, 23 of the Tempo, 9 Bomb, and 7 Control. Here are a few more interesting notes about the field. Spell Druid was only brought by 13 players despite its solid performance as a ladder deck. Shaman didn't make a single appearance across the 48 lineups, and Paladin made only 1, with Asia Pacific Grandmaster Frosty bringing this Murloc Paladin list. Now let's look at the 3 lineups which were able to win their respective regions' Last Hero Standing tournaments, starting with Surrender and Asia Pacific. Surrender decided to play a relatively standard aggressive lineup, bringing Tempo Demon Hunter, Tempo Warrior, Highlander Hunter, and the secret version of Galakrond Tempo Rogue. Normally a lineup of 4 aggressive decks is quite rare in LHS, but in this meta when you ban Tempo Warrior, which Surrender did, there is no real way for this lineup to get punished. The other control decks in the meta, mainly Galakrond Priest and Highlander Mage, don't fare particularly well against this lineup, and the only other counter to many of these decks is Spell Druid. It is often the case with an LHS lineup that you will have to concede to struggling against one specific combination of 2 decks. Fortunately for Surrender, he chose for that combination to be Spell Druid and Tempo Warrior, and he was rewarded for his good meta read as Spell Druid ended up being more of a fringe deck. The limited counters in the meta that Surrender correctly predicted allowed his aggressive lineup to outpace many greedier mid-range oriented lineups and carry him to his victory. The America's champion, Galen, brought a very interesting lineup as he was just one of 3 players to bring Combo Demon Hunter, as well as one of just 4 players to bring Zoo Warlock to go alongside his Tempo Warrior and Highlander Rogue. What we should see from Galen's lineup is not that he made a unique meta call, but rather that he fundamentally disagrees with the accepted wisdom as to which decks are the strongest at the moment, having stated publicly that he thinks Zoo is one of the best decks in the game. The same goes for Combo Demon Hunter, which actually has a surprisingly similar matchup spread to the Tempo version, making the primary reason to bring the deck that you think it is simply stronger overall. This lineup is a great example of the ways in which you can challenge conventional wisdom about a Hearthstone meta and often be rewarded for doing so. Further supporting the unique perspective on the meta that Galen's lineup showed is that the EU champion Swids was one of his practice partners for the event and was the second of the 4 players who brought Zoo. The craziness of Galen's lineup is slightly toned down in Swids, as he reverted from Combo Demon Hunter back to Tempo, and from Highlander Rogue back to Stealth Tempo Rogue, but the idea of the lineup remains the same. As mentioned previously, Combo Demon Hunter and Tempo Demon Hunter have relatively similar matchup spreads, and the same can be said of Highlander Rogue and Tempo Rogue, with Highlander performing slightly better against Control, and Tempo performing slightly better against Aggro. Overall, it is very refreshing to see 2 players go so far against what the rest of the field is doing and find so much success doing so, and it makes you wonder how much more Zoo we'll be seeing in the future. We hope you have enjoyed our look at Hearthstone's return to Last Hero Standing. What did you think of the format? Let us know in the comments whether you're glad we're returning to Conquest soon, or whether you'd like to see more LHS tournaments in the future. Please remember to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn notifications on in order to keep up with all of our upcoming Hearthstone content. Thanks for watching!